Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Dorsey's Resource. Welcome to the new channel. This is at Dorsey's Resource 873. The topic of this video is going to be what's happening with the reset ? Continue to accumulate and prepare. That's the topic I plan on discussing. First of all, I want to thank everyone who has followed the instructions and came over and subscribed. Officially, this is the new channel. At Dorsey's Resource 873. I know it's been a while since I've done a video over here, gone live or uploaded a video. Once again, I want to thank you all that continue to rock with me. I appreciate you all, loyal subscribers and members who have stayed loyal throughout the years on this journey, by the way. And I still get from time to time ask this question. And periodically, I myself ask questions as things have evolved and changed throughout the years related to this topic in relation to the global currency reset, to be confused with the cabal's great reset, but was supposed to be based upon many years ago. The global currency reset, from what I understood, was in a way for those who were seeking redemption and were part of the freedom movement. And things I encourage you all, like I had in the past, many of you all have followed the instructions and have already progressed to more advanced levels, where you've seen the documentary called Changes on the Horizon that I recommended. If you look up, called Changes on the Horizon. But without further ado, I don't want to pontificate or waste any time. I want to get straight into the topic, right to the point. And I spoke to one of my sources recently, and I have time to time just to let you all know, to be transparent. There's other sources out there that I've listened to throughout the years. Several of these sources have mentioned the information that's coming about is not as readily available like it used to be. A lot of things have changed. Sources out there have gone dark. Many that even some of the top high level people, certain people, they're not talking anymore. There's people that have signed seriously, if you can take it how you want it, but people have signed non-disclosure agreements, things people can't talk, or if they can, they don't talk about information that's related to like the prognosis for those of us that are still in the public, that are trying to cross over into the private, or trying to get any teeny bit of information that we can. It's been very difficult, I understand, as I've talked in the past to many, or some in my private circle specifically, but from time to time throughout the years, I've been able to get information, and I do appreciate that from the few sources that I do have. And certain things haven't really changed too much from what it appears to be, but some of the things that like I said in one of my previous videos I may have done on my bigger channel, by the way. I won't say it's no longer necessarily my main channel, because YouTube got rid of the backup channel, which affected the larger channel. That was totally separate from this channel. This is a totally separate YouTube channel altogether, completely different, by the way. So what's happening with the reset ? And why I put continue to accumulate, I'm going to delve into, we may take a deep dive, but of course, continue to accumulate silver, gold, if you can afford it. If you were holding dinars, foreign currency. But like I said in the past, it's always good to diversify your portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread them apart like many have. Invest in stocks, hold digital assets. But definitely is part of preparing for what is coming down the road. And it's very why I put it's important to prepare, or I added that in because I came across some powerful information yesterday, Saturday, the 27th. We're now on today is the 28th. I'm recording this video in the morning, shortly after some time I've gotten off work. I've gotten settled in a little bit, and I wanted to come before you all to give you all this information. But yesterday, I came across, which I was trying to figure out. I knew that the evil ones were planning another false flag event. Like when I did a video a while ago and I said my spidey senses were tingling, I really meant that I could feel something in the air. Something just didn't feel right. Um, I saw things. I've been paying attention to the crypto market. We saw a big drop not too long ago. It looks like there's somewhat of a recovery. I'm hearing that things might pick back up around March, but we don't know. We do know this year is something significant dealing with the halving event, but we know that the powers that be always do things that are unpredictable, as I refer to as the ruling class elite. That term some people are afraid to use. It's become a more popular term. You should not be afraid. I even told a friend of mine, why are you afraid to say the word Illuminati? There really is an Illuminati. There really is a ruling class elite. Now, probably in the near future, I'm thinking about doing a redo of a video to go into who they are, give you a true idea how to identify these people and understand what their agenda is. There really is a group of people. Whether some people feel like that you're giving them power when you call them elite, this that I get that psychologically, but at the same time, there really is a group of evil people with nefarious intentions that have a really dark agenda. They have a bad agenda. They don't have the general public's best interest at heart. This is not just here in the United States, but this is on a worldwide scale, on the global level, that many of you all that I know, but this is for newbies all out there or for doubters. This is not a joke. I want to tell you, want to reiterate, and I'm going to continue to report on this, that these people are tied in heavily with the banking system. There's a specific group that's had like an unlimited supply of wealth, that at their disposal to buy off politicians, to do and to corrupt activities and things of that sort. By the way, there's been books written about them. There is information, there is literature out there. I've gone over that in the past, and like I say, I may need to do another video, additional video, that it won't be, because some people have suggested that I do a Patreon and have it specifically, but I want to give you guys the information that you can easily look up, and then we'll worry about that down the road, because it's not always about the money with me. Despite what they did, what I told you guys, what I did to also fight back against YouTube is I disabled the ads all across my browser, even though this was at the extent of hurting my own ad revenue. This is mainly my from my main channel that is still up, that I can only go live from on StreamYard. You guys that are familiar with me are more likely than not, if you are over here, you're familiar with my other channel that is still up, where I can't log into the back office. That's been demonetized. It's been affected. Well, with that original Dorsey's Resource channel, what I did is all my web browsers, I can, watch my videos totally ad free. Basically, only time is I have ads is when I'm on my phone, my cell phone, or whatever, wherever I may be, and I haven't figured out a way to stop the ads on that yet. Maybe I might have to use follow the same formula. I just haven't really looked into it. But I mainly, when I'm using my cell phone, that's I watch more of my YouTube videos mainly from my desktop computer, I would say, overall. By the way, so that's what I did to boycott, to fight back. I also have recommended that you guys get on other platforms if you've been affected by the censorship. I did another video, probably need to do another rehash video that was on my main channel that I could upload over here, but I'm thinking about just doing just a total rehash. And I've always recommended you guys get over on Rumble. And there were some people that said Rumble and YouTube are controlled by the same people. And I want to say, from what I know so far, that isn't true. Rumble does support freedom of speech more so than YouTube. I can say that uh, beyond a reasonable doubt. That yes, there are some people that have claimed that they have been censored on Rumble. But that is far and few in between compared to YouTube. YouTube is ramping up the censorship again, as you guys know, and this is also a warning down the road, depending on how far things go, the level that they've taken it to. Basically, we're on the difficulty level. If you're familiar with playing video games, and you know for years that YouTube has been shadow banning different channels that speak about freedom, so-called conspiracy theory, or things that don't fit the narrative, or people that think get you to think critically, logically. It's like they want to promote just foolery and goofiness and silly. They want that, or people that do videos that just don't talk about things that are truth to power, empowering information, or just useless vlogs. Me, I. It's all about me, this, that. They don't give you empowering information. It's like, YouTube likes those things. They like you to be dumbed down and ignorant. They want to shun the people who, and I say you should be balanced. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm into those type of things, by the way. But at the same time, I'm very, very well studied, by the way, because I check out a lot of the gossip videos and stuff. Just to be honest with you guys, it's been a while since I played video games, stuff like that, and I'm an adult, and you're living on your own, taking care of domestic duties and stuff like that is very important. But I do recommend you should have fun in your downtime, because it's a way to decompress whatever it is you're into. Some people it's through reading books, some people it's going to plays, for some people, including myself, is also listening to music, doing something that's soothing. For some people, it's working out to take your mind off the stresses, daily pressure. I do get that. But at the same time, you still should know this high empowering information to prepare for what's coming down the road, because this could affect humanity. And with the globalists, also referred to as the Illuminati, the ruling class elite, are planning some very diabolical things in the near future. And of course, the cryptocurrencies is like the gift and a curse. I've heard there's some that try to pitch, it's such a great thing, it's part of the future, and you should go along with it. But I do know the modus operandi behind it was originally to get people to get ready, get prepared for this cashless society. The society is also going to be connected to artificial intelligence, which there is specifically what they call alternative cryptocurrencies or altcoins that are AI tokens, or coins, or they call AI tokens, like just like you have gaming tokens that deal with the metaverse or whatever, like with Facebook changed their name to Meta, by the way. So the cryptocurrencies, of course, has been invented, by the way, to forcefully or secretly get people used to, get them to acclimated to this new cashless society. And I saw this comment many years ago as I learned about the New World Order, the mark of the beast, the Antichrist many years ago. As I was mentioned in the previous video, I was taught this information. I learned from a relative. I went to different meetings years ago, like dealing with the Bible Prophecy Club, when they would bring in different guest speakers. I would read the types of literature that was related, those along the line that follow Christianity. I heard my friend is Muslim. I heard even for some people that are in Islam, they have like their own version of it. I remember I had my friend's nephew some years ago put me up on these Arab guys did a documentary. I hear it's actually was back on YouTube. I don't know if it still is. It was called The Arrivals, where they did their own depiction of how they describe from the Quran perspective the Illuminati or the ruling class elite, by the way, from their particular perspective. But to get back and to try to stay on topic, what's happening with the reset is my source told me that when things actually occur, the elites, what they're trying to do, and this is even for the so-called good cabal, that if you don't are prepared in certain areas, certain regards, that you will be left out, or it'll basically be too late. One of my sources was emphasizing this is really important, and I remember I was listening to Bo Pony, and he was saying in one of these videos he was doing, he had a guest, of course, and majority, I think, of all the videos I've watched, I haven't seen videos where he's been by himself. He's always had somebody's interviewing him, or he's interviewing, he's responding, he's going over information. But he was basically saying that you're going to need to have gold or silver. He said one or the other, or both would be good, but you're going to need, he said, to clarify, because if you don't have one under this, what's coming down the road, and it will behoove you to also learn about digital assets. I was explaining this to someone, because I know a lot of the older generation are like, they're not into like the computers and stuff like that as much, and they've been alienated, or there's been a lot of scams out there, and they don't really understand that you can just buy and hold digital assets, and they're going to be used instead of the way that we transact with currency. They've heard about a lot of the negative information about these pyramid websites that get shut down with these scammers, because you have so many con artists and scammers out there that have messed legitimate things up. If people don't understand it, they get confused by it. So a lot of older people are still alienated. They don't understand cryptocurrencies, and how the banking system is going to, what I was informed, going to be moving over to blockchain. Your savings accounts and checking account, just like you have a withdrawal and deposit, are going to be similar to your receive and send key. Like for cryptocurrencies, they say if you have them on a public exchange, you don't own them. You need to have the private keys. That's what the cold storage wallets are for, by the way, to hold, not just hold, but own your digital assets in case something happened to that exchange. Because that exchange, say, just like a bank, if that exchange goes belly up or goes insolvent, or say a bank holiday happens where they say your assets are frozen, that's it. You can't get hold of it. Say if this happens, just saying hypothetically, this happens to be Coinbase, or say it's Binance Exchange, and you wake up one day all of a sudden, and let's say whatever cryptos you had on there, let's say you had over $100,000 worth of crypto, and you had all of it on that one exchange, and they said, oh, something happened, and there was a cyber attack, or whatever reason they were hacked, and you don't have a backup, or you didn't put any of your other cryptos or a portion of that in a cold storage wallet, you're going to be hit. And this even goes for myself, guys. I'm not just, sound like I'm preaching to the choir, but this applies to myself. And this was, I saw something like this when I first was heard about learning more about cryptocurrencies. I kind of understood the way the elite set this up. Now, I'm not a cryptocurrency expert, by the way, because I had a relative that thought just because I knew about it, or I knew some things, they felt like I was advanced. No, I'm not. There's people, I'm still learning about things I was talking about. I'm just learning about what layer ones and layer twos are. I knew about DeFi, that stands for decentralized finance. I've heard about what do they call those, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that are basically like digital arts, and people were selling those things. I don't really know too much about it other than that, just the basics that I explained. So I want to say I am not an expert, but I did see from what my source was relaying to me, I already had an innate understanding of this. Now, I'm not going to say this was like a prophetic word or anything, or I'm a psychic, or I had a psychability, but I know how, I understand how the elites operate to a degree. I have a friend I consult with. He's more like an expert because he studied history, he studied eschatology, he's studied multiple languages, and he can translate the information just like I translate it for you all to be able to interpret what I'm saying and how important it is. And I saw this thing where they were setting up this new banking system, and the way the elites do things, they're like some of the biggest haters in the world. When you understand and you get into their ideology, they set things up in a way to sabotage people. I was explaining this to a friend of mine. I told him I was having a hard time, and he understood because he can, he's patient when he listens to me, and I appreciate that. He'll know if he watches or comes across this video, he'll know who I'm talking about without saying his name to keep him private. But he's patient, and he does understand that. When I explained, I said they do things in a way where they're very evil, sinister. Even the so-called good cabal. Uh, it's if you understand, you get into how they operate, and you start learning about what particular ways, what methods, and stuff like that. So that's why I put those documentaries out there for you guys to research and study. Many of you all have asked me about in the past. You can go over. I went over one earlier. It's called Changes on the Horizon. It's like an older documentary. Watch that if you never saw it before. You want to watch Money Masters, Monopoly Men. If you've never seen that before, those both deal with the banking system, a thorough history. Very good breakdown. Money Masters is long, so take your time. You can watch it in portions. Just don't be in any type of rush so you can digest the information. You want to check out Money Masters, Monopoly Men, and also Ring of Power, Empire of the City. And many or all of these documentaries you still should be able to watch for free on YouTube. If not, you may look for them on other platforms such as BitChute or Rumble or Brighteon.com, or just do a internet search on them. All these documentaries that I named, by the way, so it would help you all out. I'm going to get to the comments. I see some of you are joining. Top Auto Detailing says XRP, baby. All right, yeah, XRP. Mary Saunders says shalom, Mr. Dorsey, and everyone. Shalom to you, Mary. Thank you for joining. By the way, Top Auto Detailing says your efforts are greatly appreciated across the board, my man. I have diversified for the past 2 years, got some devalued currencies like Dong and Dinar, digital assets like XRP and XLM. Awesome. You're doing the right thing, by the way. And that's what we want to, my source emphasize, we want to continue to do, because he emphasized to me that once this reset happens, or once uh they getting ready, because the price, I keep forgetting, I have let you guys know in previous videos, but the price of silver and gold is being suppressed right now, especially silver is heavily being suppressed. Gold is as well, even though gold is above 2,000 per ounce, but silver has been heavily manipulated. And because silver also has a high industrial usage, and it's becoming harder for miners to pull it off the ground as well. And I hear there was some company out there that made a large request because it's used in a lot of electronic devices, solar panels, and there was a company that deals with solar, and they made a very large purchase, and they need a very large amount, which these types of things can cause the price to go up, even though it's manipulated on the COMEX exchange, or the mercantile exchange in Chicago, basically Chicago Mercantile Exchange, COMEX, the futures market, by the way. But despite that, that it's becoming less available in circulation, that leads to the scarcity because of its industrial usage. Why I'm more bullish, and a lot of people I've talked to, I'm someone in my LCS actually mentioned, and I was even surprised to hear this from one guy. He's familiar with me from a lot of the purchases I made at the particular LCS. I won't say which city or which location, but one that's familiar with me. And he said to me, when I just said I wanted to briefly just take a look at the gold, and I said, hey, if I had made more money, I would be buying gold. I have bought gold in the past, but I don't currently hold any At the time, I had to sell some back some years ago with different emergency situations. But I had my silver though, and I said I wanted to get some gold, and he said, I think silver, he said to me, has greater upside or whatever. And then I can't remember what my reply was to him, but I'm in agreements with them, definitely. And that's one of the things one of my private sources told me many years ago as well. I'm a lot more bullish on silver than I am gold. Gold is still good, excellent to have, but I'm heavily bullish. And I know there's a lot of people, there's channels I watch where they do both. They have silver and gold because there's some people argue one over the other. But I think, and just in my opinion, silver is still more affordable. It's still very cheap to get it and have the opportunity. And even for both, there's fractionalized pieces you can get where if you can't afford a full ounce or whatever, you can go lower or based on however many ounces to do your own due diligence and research. But just in my opinion, that's not financial or legal advice, by the way, just sharing that. So we get to the next comment, but you're doing the right thing, Top Auto Detailing. Um, Definitely by diversifying your portfolio. And that's what my source was emphasizing because he said once the reset happens, that the price is going to adjust in gold and silver. They're going to go to their real amount. And then by that time, if you haven't gotten in, it's going to be too late for the most part. You're going to be priced out. It'll be too late because people, when silver hit $600 per ounce, and lately, last I checked, it was around $23 or less than $23. That was just for a 1 ounce round. This is minus the premium. By the way, it's still dirt cheap because when it hits 600, people are going to be like, "Oh, it's too high, it's too much money." Or even if it hits $200 or $100, people will be complaining. Well, you had the opportunity now, as this valuable information is being shared with you. But there's, like I said earlier, YouTube wants to promote or likes to promote a lot of channels that don't talk about truth to power, and they're actually changing their policies. I hear coming this February, they're implementing some type of new policy where they're saying that if you talk about certain events that they feel are newsworthy, let's say by the corporate mainstream media, and they feel like they don't like, I'm gonna basically sum it up for you. I don't remember their exact words, but basically, if they don't like what you're saying, they said that you don't have a right, basically, because Klaus Schwab with the World Economic Forum put out a statement. They're trying to clamp down on so-called freedom of speech, even though freedom of speech in America is explicitly clear. I don't know if the Supreme Court is going to make another ruling, but I think they need to affirm that it's explicitly clear. And I saw many different types of clips of videos, by the way, about freedom of speech. But YouTube is considered a super conglomerate corporation of the big tech giants. I call them big tech bullies, of the many big tech bullies. And no, Rumble, if you're wondering, people are trying to put Rumble, saying, make it like a lot of people who are secretly liberal or still have an affection to the Democratic control monopoly or the corrupt administration that's going on. And you would know what I'm saying. By the way, they try to make it seem like, oh, they're both two heads of the same snake. So they're trying to make Rumble to be like, oh, it's controlled by the same people like YouTube. No, that is Rumble. Yes, Rumble might censor, but it's not anywhere near the degree that YouTube censors. Cut it with the BS. Because there's a couple I watch out there, and I'm not saying they're awesome. I love their content, by the way. But I watched one of their videos, and they were the title of the video was called "The Reasons I Don't Waste Time with Rumble." And I would say my rebuttal to that is Rumble has also grown exponentially, and you can make revenue over there. It has grown, but once again, that's up to the creators, and it's a good thing that I myself and others previously gave the warning out, because there's still lots of money to be made. There's money to eat over there, and YouTube is actually, from what I heard, is losing advertisers because they've alienated a significant portion of their content creators, and their fan base are actually moving and leaving and going to other platforms, as I've recommended, by the way, because they don't like what you talk about. And then especially with this new policy that they're it's called their terms of service or something like that for next month. You can look it up, or you've seen, I'm pretty sure you all have heard about, you'll be hearing about it, other channels that have reported on it. You can look it up if you don't believe what I'm saying, but they are, since I'm a content creator, I get emails from them from time to time, by the way, that tells us about these things. So they're changing their policies to make it where they want to control what you basically talk about. They don't want you to talk about things that are outside of the box. By the way, they want you to tote the line to go by what's the official narrative. And they feel like even if there's stories they said that that are related, that they said that can affect people. I said they gave some examples. Like I would say one is like the pandemic that happened. They don't want people. They feel now it's getting to the point giving their opinion in a way, unless it goes along with the official narrative and it doesn't rock the boat. If you guys get the drift, just to sum it up, to keep it simple.